What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. And real quick, I just wanted to get up on here and just give my thoughts about Roman Reigns winning the 2026 Royal Rumble match. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of have mixed emotions about it a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong, I do believe that Roman Reigns probably was like the only right choice to win this match. Now, you could say Cody Rhodes was an option, which would have probably just been lame and just lame. You could argue that a guy like, LA Knight could have won, but let's be real. A lot of people want LA Knight to win the Money in the Bank ladder match finally, not the Royal Rumble match. Or, obviously, a guy like Braun Breaker would have been a good option. Obviously, they had someone, a masked man, to, attack him and take him out of the match. I think when it comes to Braun Breaker, he wouldn't have really made too much sense to win it anyways, especially since he has the ongoing storyline with Seth Rollins when he eventually come back. So like I said, when you really look at the field, the only one that makes the only amount of sense to win this match is Roman Reigns. So did Roman Reigns need to win this match? Obviously not, but don't forget the only Royal Rumble that Roman Reigns won was the Royal Rumble back in 2015. And nobody liked Roman back then. Roman Reigns' 2015 Royal Rumble win will always be tainted on the fact that nobody wanted him to win that match. I think eventually WWE needed to give Roman Reigns that double Royal Rumble win, especially since the greats, like Randy, Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, Triple H, Edge, John Cena, Randy Orton, guys like that have won the Royal Rumble twice, so eventually Roman was going to have to be one of those guys. But Roman Reigns basically came out his mouth and said that in the 2 years that he's been absent, WWE had plenty of times to build a brand new star. So while I think Roman Reigns was the only option to win the Royal Rumble match, I think that's why I have mixed emotions about it. Because WWE had plenty of times to build a brand new star in the absence of Roman Reigns. They failed to do that, which basically made the ratings, since Roman Reigns hasn't been on top, it made the ratings go down. And that's why I say that I have mixed emotions about Roman Reigns winning. Not that he shouldn't have won or he should have won. I just think he was the only choice that made sense to win this match. Especially when you consider that him and Drew McIntyre have history, him and CM Punk have history. Now, however, I don't think it makes too much sense to go after CM Punk, but I'll probably get into that in another video. It's just weird when you think about it because Roman Reigns showed up 6 times last year, and obviously when he did show up, the ratings went through the roof. And not to mention, Roman really didn't have a story going into the Royal Rumble, and he announced that he'll be at the Royal Rumble up on social media or something like that. So that's why this Royal Rumble was kind of underwhelming because who were really the top heavy picks to win the Royal Rumble match. But like I said, when you really think about it, Braun Breaker didn't make too much sense to win the match. Yeah, he could have pulled a Jey Uso where Jey lost to Gunther and then he won the Royal Rumble match. So in this situation, they could have did where Braun Breaker lost to CM Punk, and then a month later, he wins the Royal Rumble match. They could have did that twice if they wanted to. Now, if Gunther didn't retire AJ Styles earlier in the night, if Gunther would have lost, I think they would have had him redeem himself by having him win the match. But, of course, they didn't have Gunther win the Royal Rumble match because, number one, he just retired Jey Uso, so the Saudi crowd was already upset by that. And these Saudi crowds pay a lot of money. So you got to really think about it. Roman Reigns was the biggest draw according to Saudi Arabia. So I do think Gunther was the favorites to win the match had he not retired AJ Styles earlier in the night. And the other reason why I think Braun Breaker didn't win the Royal Rumble match is because, like I just mentioned, you just had Gunther retire AJ Styles earlier in the night. So you could not have had a heel win the Royal Rumble match. Now, obviously, the Saudi crowd, they love Sami Zayn. But, let's be real. Sami winning this Royal Rumble match, even though he just lost early in the night to Drew. End of the day, Sami versus, CM Punk or, Sami versus Drew. That's not, especially since Drew beat him, the last 12 or 13 times. So Sami winning the Royal Rumble match, yeah, it would have been a good pop, for the people in Saudi. But after the Royal Rumble, then the dust settled. Then people start to realize that Sami Zayn had just won the Royal Rumble match. And one final thing, I think the biggest reason as to why they went with like a guaranteed main eventer is because of Jey Uso winning last year's Royal Rumble match. That Royal Rumble winner last year, Jey Uso, was so bad that WWE could not afford to gamble with any new main eventer. So that's why even Cody Rhodes would have also been a terrible option. It's like at the end of the day, WWE just couldn't afford to gamble with a guy like Sammy, Braun Breaker, or guys like that, because having two bad Royal Rumble winners and then the build up to WrestleMania be bad, it just probably would have killed WWE. So yeah, man, let me know your thoughts up on this. Like, who else could have probably won the Royal Rumble match besides Roman? And that's why at the beginning of this video, I said I had mixed feelings about it. Not because Roman Reigns wasn't the right winner. It's because he was just really the only option, in my opinion. I think by WWE failed attempt of building a new main eventer last year in Jey Uso, I just think they kind of ruined the future. Because like now this year, they had to go with a guaranteed main eventer. They couldn't gamble with those other guys that I just mentioned. Even though they probably should have won, I can see why they just, couldn't afford to gamble with those guys. But yeah, man, let me know your thoughts and opinion about Roman Reigns winning this year Royal Rumble match. And do you think WWE should have did a better job in building a new star on the time that Roman Reigns was up on his part-time schedule? Feel free to let me know your thoughts and opinion about Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble match. Until then, I'll catch you later. I'm out. Peace.